You are listening to Directions from a Spiritual Tour Guide podcast. I am your host, Shanel Scott. I'm a psychic medium and energy healer who has been supporting those on a spiritual journey for over a decade. I'm your tour guide into the world of the unknown, showing you that the magic of the universe is at your fingertips. I believe spirituality is simple and fun, and this podcast will make it easily accessible, giving you the real talk on all things divine and spiritual, helping you to step into the flow. Manifesting your dreams because we all deserve to be living our best life. Are you ready for an adventure? Hello, sunshines, and welcome to another episode of Directions from a Spiritual Tour Guide podcast. Hello, my name is Shanel, and I am your host and your spiritual tour guide on this journey we call life. All the real talk here on all things spiritual, divine, mystic, all that good stuff. We love to dig in, and today we're talking about the path of least resistance. Now, I know you're saying, Shanel, that sounds like science. But the beautiful thing about spirituality is so many times science backs it up. And this is kind of one of those things. And we're just talking about it in a different capacity than in more of a science-y kind of way. So I have been channeling with my guides a lot more than I have in the past. I have always done channeling, and this my guides came in last week and scolded me and said, you need to sit down with us more often. We have a lot to share. And so I've done that. I've done that over the last 2 weeks. I've spent time almost every day just touching in and seeing what they have to share with me, what lesson they have to learn for the day. And last week, one of the things that came up was this path of least resistance. And it has hit me in so many ways, and it's so exciting when you see all the things come together. I've been saying for a really long time that people have been learning lessons through their work or careers versus their personal life first, and then it's trickled over. And this is about the path of least resistance. When we are able to move through something in a place where we hold less resistance, we fight against it less or stop fighting for control in the same way as we normally do, we suddenly are able to see things and embody things in a different way. So what I've seen it with myself and with my clients, that will do things like holding boundaries. It's so much easier to say to your coworker, hey, can you send that in an email? Versus your partner and saying, hey, I don't like that thing. Can you stop doing it? So we are given things in a way that we can more easily absorb and embody and feel. But it comes with the same good stuff on the other side. When we say to that coworker, hey, can you send that into an email for me so that I can deal with that, that feels good. It says, hey, can you respect my boundaries? This is the way that I need to receive this so that I can help you. It's not about being bossy or having control. It's simply saying, this is my capacity. This is my bandwidth. Can you work with it? This is how I'm going to be able to serve you in the best way that I possibly can. And it empowers us. It lifts something in our energy, and it shows us our worth. It shows us asking for respect. It shows us asking for what we want, which again might be a lot easier to do with coworkers, or even, something as simple as if you go to a restaurant, your order comes out and it's wrong. Instead of just eating it and you've done it, we've all done it. We've all done it. Saying to the waitress or the waiter or the server, excuse me, this isn't what I ordered. These are empowering things, and they're a lot easier to do on the surface level than going deeper in. So what the universe has been allowing us to do is find the path of least resistance to the deep work that we need to do. We've been peeling off the layers on the surface instead of having to chop right into the middle and go deep down inside right from the get-go. And this is brilliant. I was like, how did I not notice this is what was happening? When we recognize this, it shifts things. It allows us to see that sometimes the small stuff reverberates out, creating much bigger stuff. Right? The small stuff reverberates out, creating bigger stuff. The little learning, the little lessons that we are embodying allow us to embody bigger lessons and get deeper into the gunk. It helps us to clean them out without feeling like we are being covered. It's kind of crazy and super magical and awesome, right? Dare I say awesome sauce? Does that date me? Probably a little bit, right? Things I said as a kid. The path to least resistance. So if we just break it down a little bit more, in science and stuff, it's that piece of like water will find the path of least resistance to get where it needs to go. So it will tunnel its way through. It's not going to go through a rock. It's going to go around the rock because that's the path of least resistance. So when I say that, one of my favorite things to talk about, this saying of like, why climb the mountain when we can float around it? Same sort of thing. Why do we have to put in all this resistance and struggle for control and climb the mountain when we could float around it? And I've been talking about this for forever, but I've never been able to put those words of the path of least resistance around it until just this last week. And again, I feel like this is such a game changer. If you have a lesson to learn, if you looked at it, could you ask yourself that question? What is the path of least resistance? Maybe it's simply like asking for things that you want means just going and ordering in person, face to face, a coffee or a donut or a pastry or your lunch and asking for exactly what you want. I would like my chai latte, extra hot, with oat milk and an extra pump of chai in it, please. That is me saying, I really like it this way. Could you please make it for me? And them saying, yes, absolutely, and I will charge you accordingly, right? But that is asking for what we want. That is asking for what we need. That's how I really like my chai, and it makes me feel really good to order it that way. But what might be uncomfortable is asking my husband to do something in a certain way. Not usually, but. Or asking a coworker to do something in a certain way. Or if you're in the dating scene, maybe it's just about asking partners that you don't know for something that you need. Space, respect, whatever. But at starting at like a low level, at where you can handle it, asking the barista to make your coffee the way you want it, might just be a stepping stone to then asking somebody else for what you need. Something that makes you more vulnerable or feels harder to ask for. This is not new. But I do feel like it's kind of revolutionary right now. I know for me, it has made me look at things in a very different way. It has allowed me to have so much gratitude for some of the small crap. And how it has just been big in me actually digging so much deeper into the big stuff that I've been working on. And if I hadn't pulled those layers off in places that were easier to pull them off, maybe I couldn't have gone as deep as I did into the healing work that I'm doing. I got gratitude, man. Gratitude all over the place for the path of least resistance. So think about it. Maybe think about where it's shown up in your life. Maybe think about where you can implement it. But what I want you to think about is that the universe doesn't want our lives to be difficult. They doesn't want our lives to be challenging. So when we are open and present to being present in our body, to be, we are able to see so much more. We are open to the intuition and the guidance that's going to take us in the direction of the path of the least resistance. The universe is conspiring for you to have a life of freedom, to feel light, to be joyful, to feel happy, to feel like things are smooth. It's not trying to make it more difficult. We do that. We have free will. We have choice. We can listen to the guidance and the intuition, or we can ignore it. It's our choice. If we ignore it, we're ignoring the path of least resistance often, right? I could just sit here and talk about this forever because things like this make me really happy. But I'm not going to. I'm going to put it in your hands because that's where the real work gets done. My job is just to bring awareness for you. My job is holding space and allowing you to see. So I hope you take this and see. I hope you really take it to heart and learn how to get present, learn how to be there, learn how to find the path of least resistance in your life. And let me caveat, this is not about being lazy. This is not about being lazy. We are not trying to do things the easy way. We are not trying to unlearn. This is about doing things in a way that feels good. This is learning in a way that feels good. Okay, get out there. Go find the path of least resistance in your life. From my heart and soul, friends, I am so grateful that you are here. I am so happy to be able to share with you. So if you can energy exchange with me today, I am even happier. So if you can like, subscribe, follow, leave a review, comment, whatever you can do. It is just sharing a little bit of your time with me, just like I shared a little bit of my time with you. And I'm grateful. So grateful to be here on this journey with you. So grateful to be your spiritual tour guide. I am so grateful. So from my heart and soul to yours, until the next time, bye now.